my friends, and for those of you that don't know, I'm from New England, and us New Englanders sure love our brown bread. So I'm going to show you a recipe how to make brown bread. This dates back to the 1800s. This recipe's been around forever. So let's get going. First, we mix the dry ingredients together. We need 1/2 cup of finely ground cornmeal, or if you don't have that, you can use grits. 1/2 cup of rye flour. If you can find the dark rye, even better. And 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. We're going to also add in 1/2, those are all halves, and the next ones are also halves, so it's easy to remember. 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of allspice ground. And we're going to go ahead and mix these all together. Once all your dry ingredients are all mixed together, we're going to push that off to the side and get on to the wet stuff. For the wet stuff, we're going to use 1 cup of buttermilk. We're going to also use 1 tablespoon of vanilla, 1/2 cup of molasses. Now, you can use any kind of molasses that you want. It can be sulfured or unsulfured. It really doesn't matter. Whatever your preference is, or better yet, whatever you have in your cabinet. So we're gonna get this all in there, and of course, as we know, molasses is quite sticky and thick. So we're gonna kind of whisk this all together. Once we have this all whisked together, we're gonna add in 1/2 cup of raisins. Now, raisins are an optional thing, but for me, they're mandatory. I absolutely love raisins. This is a really, really unique recipe. But I'm going to tell you, once you've had it once, you're going to just love it and want it all the time. Got that all mixed together. So now let me just put these raisins in and get them soaking. Make sure we get them all because I love raisins. And mix those in with the wet. This truly is a lovely brown color. Now we're going to go ahead and dump the wet ingredients right in with the dry. Make sure none of those raisins get hung up in your whisk. And we're going to mix this all together. It's going to be kind of a thicker batter. Now, traditionally, you'd be using a coffee can, but they just don't make coffee cans anymore. All coffees pretty much come in bags, or the ones that look like cans are cardboard. So I'm using 2 of the larger, like soup-sized cans. So if you can get your hands on those, make sure you don't throw them away or put them in your recycling. Save them for this. Now, you want to make sure that they're nice and clean, and you want to butter or grease these. I'm going to use my spray. You want to make sure that you get them greased up really well inside. Like so. Now we're going to add the batter into the cans. Now you don't want to fill them more than 2/3 full. So go ahead and start filling. So I'm making... Did you see that? I'm making 2. That's why I have 2 cans. Next, take a large stock pot, and you're going to want to put something inside because you don't want the pan to rest on the bottom. If you've got like a steamer or a rack, even better. So you're going to go ahead and put that in. And then I meant to tell you that you need to cover your cans with foil. Cover your cans with the bread with foil, and go ahead and put that on into the pot. And now you're going to want to add water. You're going to do this over a medium heat, and you're going to add in so that it covers up the, oops, you want to make sure that it, there you go, get the water back down in there. Okay, you want to make sure that it covers up to the can about 1/3 of the way up. Now you want to put a cover on it. And we're going to let this cook for about 2.5 hours. Now you want to check it every, half hour or so to make sure that the water level is still up high and it's still steaming and cooking your bread. Alrighty, now it's been 2 hours. I'm sorry, 2.5 hours. I took it out and supposed to let it rest for about 10 minutes. Look good. So it's still super hot. So now, if it doesn't slide right out of the can, which hopefully it will, I can tell you a trick. If it doesn't, you can use your can opener. I had it handy just in case, and cut off the other end and just like push it through. But look at that, look at that. Ooh, it's steaming. It's steaming, baby. Now look at this. Let me give you a good look. Look at that. Woohoo! Now I'm gonna cut up a couple slices for Megan and I. This is gonna be so delicious. Some people like to serve this with cream cheese. Some people like to serve it with butter. You can grill it with butter too. I mean, there's many options. Oh my gosh, I haven't made this in a while. Would you look at this? Would you look at this? Perfection, perfection. I'm sure hoping that Meg's gonna enjoy this because I haven't made it in a long time. So we're gonna find out. Alrighty, I haven't made this in forever. So I got out the butter. I didn't know if you wanted cream cheese on it. I know some people like cream cheese on it. Couldn't remember if you liked it that way. When I was a kid, my father used to make this and my Nana used to make it. But you actually, you can buy this in the store in a can already made, but you still have to warm it up, steaming it on the stove. If you do it proper, But it's all already cooked in the can when you buy it. So it doesn't take 2.5 hours on the stove. All right, she's buttering up, baby. Ooh, I should have softened up the butter. This is the bomb. I know a lot of people like to serve this with like hot dogs.
Oh.
Hot dogs, beans, and brown bread. That's like a New England thing. Some people call this Boston brown bread, Boston baked brown bread, but it's not really baked, it's steamed. So, it's kind of weird. I guess you maybe serve Boston baked beans with Boston brown bread.
Well, it might be something to do with like, you make the beans, wash out the can, whatever, and make the bread in the can, maybe. So that you're recycling.
Right, except in the original, like going way back, when they used to make it like in the early 1900s, they would have probably made the beans from scratch. But my father used to make it, and even in the recipe, it calls for a coffee can. You can't find a coffee can anymore. It's all either in a bag, in plastic, and I've even been tricked where I thought the can was actually metal, and you get home and it's cardboard. The bottom's metal, and but I don't know why I haven't made this in so long. Really good.